We know that when you're serving in uniform, either in the military or your community, you miss family events. Maybe it's birthdays, maybe it's the birth of a child, maybe it's an anniversary, and you can't get that time back. But when we can send our members to these events for free as a way to de-stress for a couple hours an evening, a day, just take your mind off of the everyday stresses of life, make up for lost time, that's the least we can do to thank them for their service and their sacrifice.
Jim Beam, huh?
Jim Beam.
What's the backstory here?
Jim Beam is one of VetTix's donors, and they've been very good to us, particularly in Arizona, where they will donate money to VetTix cash, and what we do is we turn around and we will make spends on their behalf at different events. And if they say, hey, we want you to make a spend here or there, absolutely no problem. Or they might be like, hey, make some spends with that money. And it's a great way that they show our VetTix members, our VetTixers, that they support the military and veteran and first responder community. And we're going to be doing some really cool stuff with Jim Beam nationwide here in the coming months. They're 225th anniversary, so it's real big for them, and we definitely want to help them promote that. And in return, they want to help VetTix and our members to have some really cool experiences very shortly coming down the pike.
There are people watching right now who are going, what the hell is VetTix? What's First Tix? What is it?
VetTix and First Tix, we're a nationwide nonprofit. We're headquartered in Arizona, but we're nationwide. And what we do is we're a 501c3. What we do is we get donated event tickets. These tickets can be to sporting events, to concerts, family events, Monster Truck, Harlem Globetrotters. Could be performing arts. Could be Hamilton. Anything where there's a ticket involved. And we get them donated by sports teams, by venues, promoters, individuals, private donors that aren't going to use their tickets. And what we do is we distribute them to our members it's free to join. And our members are currently serving members of the military, to include the Guard and the Reserve, to honorably discharged veterans, and to first responders that are either current first responders or retired first responder. And veterans, it's veterans of all areas. It's not just post 9/11 veterans, anything like that. And so it's a way that we can give back and say thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifices, because we know that when you're serving in uniform, either in the military or your community, your long shifts, you miss family events. Maybe it's birthdays, maybe it's the birth of a child, maybe it's an anniversary, your kids play, whatever, and you can't get that time back. But when we can send our members to these events for free with their families or with their friends as a way to de-stress for a couple hours an evening, a day, just take your mind off of the everyday stresses of life, make up for lost time, that's the least we can do to thank them for their service and their sacrifice.
You would know a thing or two about service and sacrifice. Talk to me about your background.
A thing or two. I retired from the Marine Corps this past August of 2019, 32 years total. So I retired out of the reserves, but spent a minute in the military and really lived a double life as a hybrid, as a reservist and the active duty part. So I've lived. I missed a lot of different things that family events or concerts I wanted to attend because I was deployed or just couldn't make it. Retired as a colonel, full bird colonel from the Marines. I did 2 tours in Iraq. And I've been on 3 different mobilizations, 2 of them to Iraq, Somalia forever ago. I think Black Hawk Down. Anybody remember that? Yeah. So it's in Somalia. So I've been very fortunate in my career in the Marine Corps because I've seen a lot of different things. I've had an amazing career, no regrets at all. And I'm so fortunate because working for Vet Ticks and First Ticks, I get to see firsthand and be a part of how we give something to those who gave.
Let's talk good day, bad day. Where do you want to start?
A bad day. Let's go bad day. So bad day for me was the day that I got the call from my boss, and I was a young first lieutenant, so I'd been in about 4 years, and I got the call from him that with all the cutbacks post Desert Storm, there was just a hemorrhage of people leaving the military that didn't have a choice. So I got a call from my commanding officer, and he said, "Steve, I want to be the first to tell you that you didn't get selected for retention. I'm sorry." I thought I was going to do 20 years active duty and just kill it and serve my country. So for me, that was very traumatizing, and I knew that there was a chance that I wasn't going to stay on active duty. But sometimes you're kind of in denial, or you kind of hope things. But so for me, that was a bad. I mean, I've had other bad days, but that one, because it really put things in perspective that I'm not going to be a career, military active duty guy for 20 years.
Let's talk about a good day.
Good day was my first deployment to Iraq, and so that was in 2003. I was a commanding officer. I was a company commander. I had 312 Marines and sailors that I took to Iraq, deployed with. And one of the best days was when I was able, when we got back to Phoenix, the reserve center in Phoenix where my unit was, and I got to bring them all back. And to me, it's a lot of pressure as a commander. And there's things you can do, there's things you can control, sphere of control, sphere of influence. And as a commander, the burden of command, and even as a young leader, a non-commissioned officer, when one of your men or women gets injured or killed, it's heavy on you. So I was very fortunate that one of the best days for me was when we got off of that bus at the drill center, and all those family members got to reunite with their Marines and sailors.
So how can people learn more about the organization that you're with now?
Great question. Vettix.org, VETTIX.org. If you're a first responder or a retired first responder, First Tix, 1ST, TIX.org. Go to the website, upper right-hand corner. There's a create an account. Click on that. It's super easy. Walk through the process. It takes, shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Marines may be a little bit longer, but pretty simple.
Brother, I'm looking forward to happy hour. If it wasn't 7 a.m. right now, I'd be tapping in. So thank you for coming out, for filming. Guys, thank you all for hitting that share button on this video. Thanks for signing up for First Tix and Vet Tix. Thanks for hitting the share so that everybody else does as well. God bless America.